Today we are sharing a room rental content. So if you have a cash flow problem of your rental cannot cover your installment, what can you do? It's usually due to these four main issues below. You do not know how to calculate your rental ROI, and then of course you do not know how to optimize. The second thing is that you choose the wrong layout. How to choose the right layout for room rental purpose. And then the third thing, what are the available rental strategy that you can apply to maximize in terms of your unit rentals? And lastly, you also need to know how to reno and furnish. What kind of furnishing will appeal to the tenant, will be suitable for your target tenant market, whether it's student, whether it's expat, local. And in this slide, you would need to know how to differentiate in terms of the cash flow type. There are five types of cash flow. Type 1, rental is more than your installment, maintenance fee, and also sinking fund. Type 2 is that your rental is more than your installment. Type 3, you break even. Type 4, your rental just only able to cover your monthly loan interest portion. What does that mean by monthly loan interest portion? Monthly loan interest portion, that means every month you pay, let's say 2,000, right? 2,000 doesn't pay all everything to the principal. A big chunk of it paid to the interest. So that interest, that is the monthly loan interest that you are paying to the bank. And lastly, your rental don't even cover this part. Doesn't make sense for you to invest already because you are borrowing money, but you still cannot cover your interest portion. Okay, the next slide will be, this would be a very good comparison of, there are three types: renting the long term, renting the whole unit, renting the room rental, and also room rental. You can also do an optimized room rental strategy. So a quick run through the difference between the rental of this unit. This unit is a real unit, and I have done a benchmark on this layout as well. If you rent out whole unit, you can get 2002 to 2004. All it's the same layout. You are renting different strategy, you will get different kind of rental income. The first one, you rent using the whole unit. So whole unit, you rent around 2004 to 2005, let's say. If you don't do any partition room, you just rent out by room. So this is the total rental income 2007. And if you optimize the layout, this layout can optimize into 4 rooms. So 4 rooms, you can get around 3,004, including renting out car parks. So what are the available type of rental strategy that you can utilize to optimize your rental? First part is a long-term rental strategy. Second part is the short-term rental. So long-term rental strategy can be goes into the rent for the whole unit and also rent for the room rentals. So room rentals, whether you do your original layout room rental, or you can add rooms, add partition room to further optimize your rentals. So the good thing about the whole unit is definitely simpler to manage because you only manage one master tenant or one tenant it is. Then, but the bad thing is, of course, is lower rental. The second thing, the room rental, you definitely will be getting 20 to 30% higher rental income. So in terms of that, you will be having a better cash flow. It is more flexible because you rent out by room. Each room ranges from 600 to 1,000, 1,001. So even though the budget of the tenant is different, you can still rent out to the right tenant. But of course, you will have to manage multiple tenants. So let's say you have 4 units, then you have to manage 4 units. 4 units. You can manage it yourself, or you can hand it over, outsource it to room rentals operators, which is available in the market already. Then the last part would be short-term rentals, or we call it Airbnb. Airbnb, of course, is the maximum rental that you can get. But of course, you rent by days to maximize the rentals. It is also mean that your high turnover, it's very high maintenance. You need to repair, refurbish the unit, clean up, replenish all the toiletries so that your next tenant will come in. Not all properties is suitable for Airbnbs. Airbnbs is very seasonal, which contribute to the uncertainty of your rental revenue or rental income stream. Sometimes due to season, there are not much tourists, not much traveler that coming into the country, and so happen your property is really not so conducive, not so attractive for Airbnb. So this is also dependent on the two things that I highlight here, location and also the seasons. So when you rent out for the whole unit, right, this is the cash flow comparison type. When you rent out using the whole unit. Let's see, I benchmark it on iProperty. This property is called the Birch KL 3 bedroom, 819 square feet units. On the left, whole unit 2002 to 2004. They are also higher and lower rental. I'm taking in the middle lah. So it will be an average or the middle point of the asking rental of the available listing. So if you were to do room rental, how much can you get? So I break it down into 4 rooms. We add another partition room. We'll come to the cost later on in this content. So if you like to know about how do we reno, what are the furnishing like, what to provide to the tenant, which is appealing to the tenant, right? Stay on to the end so that you can get a full value contents from this. So first, master room around 1000 to 1001. Second room, which is the bedroom 2 or R2 is 800. Third room 600, which is a small room with a single bed. So in the living room area, we can create another room which can fit queen size bed, wardrobe, and also table and chair setup. So with that, we come to 4 room and we have 2 units of car park to rent out. So total is around 3002 to 3004. You can do an estimate for conservative estimation purpose. So what's the difference with 2002 or 2004 to 3004? A difference of 1000, an increase of 1000 worth of rental income that you can get every month and which can translate into 12,000 a year. So in the whole unit rental, you're paying 2007, you rent 2004 or 2002, negative 500. In the room rental strategy itself, you can get 3004, which is about 700 extra, 700 ringgit extra income for you. So this one tie back to the cash flow type. Which one are you getting? You are basically getting, I'm not sure how much is the maintenance and safety fund. Chances you definitely will be getting covered installment because the installment is 2007. Then let's say maintenance fee plus sinking fund. Chances is it will not exceed 700, right? So you are in the type 1 category. Therefore, this is one of the very efficient, flexible way to rent out of your unit and ensure that your cash flow can cover your installment. Third thing, what are these are important, yeah. This is important. So you need to be sure when you buy, don't buy first and then only think about room rental. When you buy, there are top 3 mistakes. The first one is definitely you choose the wrong layout. Second part is that you use the wrong rental strategy. And the third part is that you do not know how to reno so that you optimize the rental income in your unit. So first thing, let's see on this layout, what can you see from this layout? Why is it I say it's the wrong layout to do room rentals? Able to identify this one? And then second one, and of course third one. So we go to the details. Okay, first one, let's say I take a project S lah, the original 3 room. From this layout, clearly and very fast that you can identify that this we can add a partition room over here to make it 4 rooms. So original 3 room plus 1. So this is okay. So another project A lah. It's a real project, yeah. This is real project. Original 3 room, 1, 2, and 3 below. So we can not just add 1 room, but this layout with actual on-site measurement, you need to get the measurement of this living room to be able to plan your layout optimization, how to optimize your layout. Each room, how big you need it to be so that you can fit in a wardrobe, the table and chair, and also your queen size bed comfortably. This one we also will share, and in our YouTube video, TikTok, we also share before, but in this, we will go into more detail. How to know that you can create 2 instead of 1. And the third part, project Y. This one very clear lah. You see the bathroom door is facing inside the room, and the wall here is thick wall, which you cannot hack or demolish. So how can you create another room whereby this room doesn't have a bathroom to use, right? You have to come in, and unless you go and alter this room to put a wall here so that this room and this room can go to this toilet. But this is not an efficient way to do layout optimization. Furthermore, this is only a one bedroom unit. So let's go to another example. Project U. This is also real project. All is real project. I'm giving you a very real case scenario so that you can learn from my experience, and then you will be able to choose which layout is the most efficient one. So this one project, you unable to best optimize the layout. Yes, it can add layout, add partition to the layout, but can see here, this unit is only a 1+1. So you add one more, it doesn't really optimize much. Yes, it can add, but doesn't optimize much. And second one, project U. Original room, 3 room. This is very similar to this. So definitely no problem adding one more room. So that 4 rooms minimum when you do room rental, the layout has to be at least 2+1 or 3+1 or 3+2. So this is not so optimized. It can be done, but not so worth the value, the money, the expenses to do another partition, and the rental top up is not that significant. And then we go to the last one, this one, project P. Why is it not able to optimize? Same thing. This is only a 1 bedroom. You add another one also, this bedroom share the bathroom, yes can. But similar like this one, it's not that optimized. So when you choose layout after these two case scenario, right, and walk through, I hope that you are able to choose a better layout. When you come to your next property visits, when you take the brochure, you see the layout, you already know which one is more efficient. So now we go to the reno tips. What is really needed for the units? What is the value added things and what is not value added things? Why do you need to know this? Yes, because if you know this, you know how to budget and prioritize your reno spending. Essential value add, spend on this first. Don't spend on the non-value added. I have listed a long list of items where you shouldn't spend on the non-value added. For example, expensive built-ins wardrobe, pastel ceiling, grills, and so on and so on, double layer curtain, indirect lightings. Go for the essential. Once you fulfill the essential and the value added, then if you really want to add some more extra things, maybe in the future you want to plan for old stay. Yeah, maybe. Then you start looking into non-value added. But if you don't have the essential things, kitchen cabinet, bedroom, wardrobe, table, chair, the cooking equipments, dining table sets, electrical appliances like dispenser, water heater, aircon, fan, then really don't waste your time and don't waste your money to spend on the non-value added because the return is really not worth it one. Then the next one, okay, we dive through into this layout. On this layout, right, assuming this layout is a bare unit, you bought it at bare unit, got nothing one. So what are the things that you need to put into the unit to do room rental? Bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3. So all these I've listed out. This one you can screen cap if you want to screen cap what to have a better list of reference in your next rental project. So these are the things that based on essential and value add. I don't put non-value added items inside. So P1 is the partition room. So same thing, you can see feature wall, queen size feature wall. You can do a simple but nice, catchy kind of design. Then bed, wardrobe, table, and chair, which is very relevant to room rental tenants. And of course, if you did not do a partition room, you will have a living room. So living room will be, of course, cheaper to do because you don't have the partition, you don't need to do rewiring, adding a door, do some touch-up, skimming, painting, all the stuff, right? So it will be around 4,000 cheaper if you don't have a partition room. Then dining area. Dining area is around 3,000, rough estimate, to do all the feature lighting installation and stuff. And lastly, the kitchen area, which is the most costly area lah, because you have the one-time cost, which is higher, like kitchen cabinet, food hob, electrical appliances, and so on. So this is at least the essential and the value-added items that you should provide for your room rental tenants. Other than this, don't need, don't need, until you fulfill all this. Until you fulfill all these, then you go to, depends. You want to give them a bigger TV, you want to give them indirect lighting, you want to give them invisible view at the balcony for safety purpose and so on. So next one, we go to the rental cost comparison. So just now we have gone through the in detail what to do, what to provide, how much should you budget in. So this one is without adding room, and this one is with adding room. So total, you can see the without adding room and with adding room, the price only differ a mere few thousand ringgit. So a mere few thousand ringgit. So remember this point. You add 4,000 ringgit over here to make it 4 rooms, 3 to 4. And what is your ROI? Just now we have already compared, right? The whole unit here is around 2002 to 2004. If you get a better deal, 2005, 2006, but still it's below your installment, still negative cash flow. So what if you add another 3 to 4,000, depending on your contractor, how do you bargain and get the best deal? But generally, overall, just as based on our calculation, just add 4,000 to add another room here so that the total rental is like this, plus your car park, you get to rent at 3,000 for 3,004 over here. All right, 3,004 over here, and your installment, let's say it's 2,007. It depends lah. It depends on your loan margin as well, how much down payment you put in. Of course, this one is assuming based on 90% and based on the price that I work out on this project. So you will have a positive cash flow of 700, and you have an additional 1,000 rental just by spending another 4,000 from doing whole unit rental to optimize room rental strategy. So how do we do? This is pretty much simple. This is actual sample units. This one doing a whole unit rental. That means you rent out the entire unit, not room by room. Simple design, simple furnishing, rent it out around probably 2004, 2005. Then the next one will be the partition room. Partition room, remember this one, this area is the living room. And this area is we convert into the partition room. So this is for the room rental purpose. Design wise, you can follow, you can copy, you can simplify, no issue. So these are the things you can see: dining set, dining feature lighting, the TV cabinet. This one doesn't need a sofa because it's already converted the living room. So you will know from here what to provide, what not to provide. So if you have a living room, you have a sofa, coffee table, TV cabinet. If you don't have, you actually don't need it. You still need to provide a dining table set. Then you make the dining area nicer by having the feature lighting. In this area, if you want to add light to beautify it to look more stylish, no problem. But of course, surface downlight like this will be sufficient. Then like this, feature downlight to convert already. So fridge over here. So on the other view, the kitchen cabinet is there already. Shoe rack. It's a loose shoe rack. You don't need to do the built-in shoe rack. Remember this, please. Yeah, this one. Extensive built-ins. If you do a shoe rack outside at the entrance area, right, from the floor to the ceiling, easily it will cost you another 1,000, 2,000 ringgit. So it's really not value for money. So we go to back to this. Yeah, partition. Okay, how does the room, the other space looks like? Kitchen. You don't need to do extensive L shape the wall cabinet all the way to the ceiling height. It's a kind of waste. You don't spend the money unnecessarily. tenant doesn't really need you to build the wall cabinet all the way. A lot of people, when they come to us for reno, always say, oh, this one I want to go all the way up because to prevent all the dust to build up in this area. I say it's really no point unless you really got the needs to really build up to all the way. So water dispenser is necessary because it's a kind of convenience for the room rental tenant. Then your sink, your food and hot is essential. You don't need to really splurge to splurge and spend them a lot of money to give them ceramic induction or four cooker, three cooker with a very good chimney, high tech suction speed, hot food and hot. This is sufficient. This is the essential and value adding stuff already. All right. You don't need to do too long kitchen cabinet, L shape lah. You add another island over the other side lah. Like you add the island over this side. No need. Just do this one. It's around 7 feet. 7 feet is the most efficient size lah. Because if it's shorter than that, then your sink and your hob will be too near, and then there's no place for you to put your stuff to cut and prepare ingredients. Yeah. So this is about 7 feet. You can even count from the tiles. Like this tiles is 2 by 1. So one tiles, two tiles, three tiles, and then plus minus on the left and the right. So it's about 7 feet, 7 to 8 feet. Sometimes their owners say, oh, I want longer one, more space. So always remember when you do reno, right? Don't put your own preference and your needs to the reno requirement. Put it as from the tenant. That's why you need to understand what's the tenant needs. So if you don't know what's the tenant needs, then you need to get someone who know what does the tenant need to prepare the unit for them. It's not preparing for you because you are not staying there. You are not using this unit for your own stay. All right. So same thing like this. If you go back to this whole unit, some owners will tell me, hey, I want a bigger dining table. I want a built-in TV cabinet. For what? Because it's just kind of waste of money. Really waste of money if you do a built-in cabinet, built-in TV cabinet. Easily cost you economically 1,000 plus or up to expensive one, few thousand, 10,000 also you can do. So it's really expensive. Always remember, refer back to this expensive TV cabinet, kitchen island, shoe rack. Don't need, not value for money. It's not converting your rental, not bringing up your rental unless you are providing additional, like for example, dryer, cleaning service, car park. These are value adding. These are value adding, very relevant to fulfill, to give the tenant. Then people, okay, the last one, almost the last one, the last three slides. So yard, simple lah. If you want to provide a two-in-one to save space because of the yard is too tight, right? Too narrow, then you can put a two-in-one. If you think that you want to provide them a separate dryer and washer for added convenience, also no problem. But of course, the total cost will be slightly higher if you provide separate one, the standalone one, compared to the two-in-one. And of course, the simple microwave. Microwave, you don't need to give them a very big size. They are not a professional baker or something. Then dining area, dining set for four-seater because there's about 4 rooms, assuming they definitely don't dine at the same time. So 4 will be enough. Some people say, I want to provide them 8-seater. For what? Also same thing. It's really not worth it to provide to 8-seater for what? Because this room like normally is only 1 people or 2 people, right? Then the dining light, you can choose those like office design light, the hanging one with the long one for brighter purpose, or you can choose something like this, single base with 3 light, or you can put separate base also can, up to you, depending on your designs, on your contractor as well. So this is a very good sample because it's an actual unit done up, and then it will be a very good use case study. Then we go to this bedroom. So bedroom, this design is a slightly more complex design, but definitely you want to simplify it into a simpler one, go ahead. So curtain, if you can put until the ceiling height, This one we cannot put the ceiling height because there is also a beam over here or the boxing over here, right? That blocking. So we can only put up here. Of course, you can also do a L shape, but it doesn't look consistent. So this one slightly different. Then lights, surface downlight wardrobe. You want to put a bigger, taller wardrobe, wider wardrobe, no issue. But this is the standard basic size one, 4x6 or 5x6 queen size bed. If you want to do a king size bed, no need. Not value for money. So on the other side, you can see the table and chair set over here. So the wall design, you can choose something simpler, easier to implement if you don't have a skillful painters or the painters doesn't want to pick up the tedious work like this. And lastly, we go to the partition room. How does the partition room look like? It doesn't have to be this kind of design. It can be simpler design also. Just single color, one side of the wall, no issue. This is considered a small partition room. It can only fit in a single bed, provided with the bed sheets, pillow, and same size wardrobe. That's why you can see such a huge balcony door over here because this is created from the living room. So it has aircon, table and chair set, the bed mattress, the bed sheets, all everything. So it will be very move-in friendly at the moment the tenant confirm, right? They just bring their personal luggage and then they can move in already. So I hope this kind of sharing, this kind of content, especially about room rentals, right, will to help you to solve first thing, help you to solve about your cash flow issue. Second thing is like you are able to expose to more rental tips. What are the important stuff? What are the value added? What are the not value added? Then you also recap a bit. We also share about the rental strategy. What can you do with your unit? Rental strategy interlink to the layout of your unit. So when the rental strategy has to be defined before you even buy the unit, not after you bought the unit. When we go back to the layout, right? Remember, if if you already bought the wrong layout like this, then I can't do much. You also can't do much unless you really uh redo a bit of the layout. So you have to define your rental strategy at the very beginning before you even make the payment, make the booking, make the purchase for your uh properties. So rental tips, rental strategies, what are the top three mistakes that you have in room rentals? Why room rental can help you to solve this issue, right? Why room rental can be able to help you to solve on the negative cash flow issue, and then what causes the negative cash flow. All this is actually interlinked to each other. So when you understand all this really, so the outcome of this after watching this video content, you will be able to do a more efficient layout filtering, a more efficient renovation planning and budgeting. You know what kind of rental strategy that you can apply for your unit before you even buy it. And lastly, you know how to calculate and maximize your ROI. This is your investment for the rental. This is the ROI calculation for your cash flow. So I hope this video or content will be able to provide value to you. Page follow for more property tips, rental tips, strategy like this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye. Ciao.